Today on MTG Unpacked, we're getting stuck into the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander deck, Ahoy Mateys. So this is a blue, black, red deck, obviously stuffed full of pirates. So let's see what else we get here. A collector booster sample pack, 100 card deck with 10 new cards. Deck box, 10 double-sided tokens, foil etch display, commander life wheel, strategy, insert, and reference card. Okay, so we'll get into it here, and they have a fun little saying, lost sailors aren't failures. Okay, I see what they did there. So let's get into this. These are going for about $37 on TCG Player right now, so you might want to check out the affiliate link in the description of every video. We've got the deck here, some info, and what is in here. Okay, so we've got our collector booster sample pack, so let's get into this to begin with. So these give you a little taste of the collector boosters. We will actually be getting stuck into some just as soon as they get to my LGS. Alright, so we've got an ad card followed by Waiter Trainer Prodigy. It's a mythic. Okay, so you might remember this commander from the deck we looked at the other day. And Nick Hanzel, what is that? Current Conductor. So you've got the text a little bit obscured there. Very cool. So we'll set those aside. And then we have our deck box with Admiral Brass. And also they've been putting the life counters in here. So this one goes up to 20 and 40 on the other side. Alright, so now we'll take a look at this flyer here. So this usually tells you about the deck. So playing the deck, and we can actually bring the pirates back from the graveyard. That'll be interesting. Commander rules in case you're new to the format. And then on the other side, Admiral Brass Unsinkable. So you might remember this pirate from Ixalan. Back again. Actually survived the Phyrexian invasion. Good deal. Okay, so the deck itself, we'll get into this. They often put the display commander near the bottom here. So we'll take a look at that. So this is a thicker cardstock, foil etched. Using it purely for display. You would not be shuffling that into your deck, obviously. Alright, so let's take a look at the deck itself. Cut that there. So we have Admiral Brass Unsinkable. It's a mythic. Legendary creature, human pirate, 3/3 for 2, blue, black, and red. When Admiral Brass Unsinkable enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may return target pirate creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. It has base power and toughness 4/4. It gains haste until end of turn. If a creature with a finality counter on it would die, exile it instead. Alright, so that's a good way of getting more value out of your pirates. We got Don Andres, the Renegade. Legendary creature, vampire pirate, 4/3 for 1 blue, black, and red. Each creature you control but don't own gets +2/+2, has menace and death touch, and is a pirate in addition to its other types. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell you don't own, create 2 tapped treasure tokens. So that's interesting. I think we're going to be stealing stuff from our opponents. Next up we've got Azure Fleet Admiral. Creature, human pirate, 3/3 for 3 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield you become the monarch. And Azure Fleet Admiral can't be blocked by creatures the monarch controls. Next we have an Enterprising Scallywag. Creature, Goblin Pirate, 2/2 for 1 and a red. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, create a treasure token. So you descended if a permanent card was put into your graveyard from anywhere. And you've got that trigger there from the commander as well, so that will work out nicely. Daring Saboteur, creature, human pirate, 2/1 for 1 and a blue for 2 and a blue. It can't be blocked this turn, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Departed Deckhand, creature spirit pirate, 2/2 for 1 and a blue. When it becomes the target of a spell, sacrifice it. It can't be blocked except by spirits. And for 3 and a blue, another target creature you control can't be blocked this turn except by spirits. And we've got Distant Melody, sorcery for 3 and a blue. Choose a creature type. So you're going to pick pirates. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. We got the Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro, legendary creature spirit pirate, 2/3 for 2 and a blue. Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro can't be blocked by creatures with toughness 3 or greater, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, choose up to 1 target card in a graveyard that was discarded or put there from a library this turn. Put that card into its owner's hand, and it has partner, so you can have 2 commanders if they both have partner. Next up, we've got Malcolm, Keen-Eyed Navigator, legendary creature, Siren Pirate, 2/2 for 2 and a blue, has flying. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponents, you create a treasure token for each opponent dealt damage. So the treasure token is an artifact with tap. Sack this artifact, add 1 mana of any color, and it also has partner. We've got Merchant Raiders. It's a creature human pirate, 2/4 for 3 and a blue. Whenever it or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, tap up to 1 target creature. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as you control Merchant Raiders. Then we have a Siren Storm Tamer, creature Siren Pirate Wizard, 1/1 for a single blue, has flying, and for a blue, sack it, counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. Spectral Sailor, creature spirit pirate, 1/1 for a blue, has flash and flying. For 3 and a blue, draw a card. And Windfall, sorcery for 2 and a blue. Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. Feed the Swarm, sorcery for 1 and a black. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. And Pitiless Plunderer, this is a nice reprint. Creature human pirate, 1/4 for 3 and a black. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure token. And Breach's Brazen Plunderer, a legendary creature, Goblin Pirate, 3/3 for 3 and a red with menace. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponents, exile the top card of each of those opponents' libraries. You may play those cards this turn, and you may spend mana or mana of any color to cast those spells. And this guy also has partner. Faithless Looting, sorcery for a single red, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, has flashback for 2 and a red. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Rakdos Charm, instant for black and red. Choose 1, exile target player's graveyard, destroy target artifact, or each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. And here we have Ramirez de Pietro Pillager, legendary creature, human pirate, 4/3 for 2 blue and black. When it enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life and create 2 treasure tokens. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. And Arcane Signet, artifact for 2, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Commander's Sphere, artifact for 3, tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity, and if you sacrifice it, you get to draw a card. And Demir's Signet, artifact for 2, for 1, tap, add blue and black mana. Okay, so there's the first part of the deck. We shall continue here with Herald's Horn. It's an artifact for 3. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. And at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. We've got an Is It Signet, artifact for 2, for 1, tap, add blue and red mana. And a Rakdos Signet, artifact for 2, for 1, tap, add black and red mana. And of course, Soul Ring, artifact for 1, tap for 2, colorless. We've got Wayfarer's Bauble, artifact for 1, for 2, tap, sack it, Search your library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. And Command Tower. It's a land, tap to add 1 mana of any colour in your commander's colour identity. We've got a Crumbling Necropolis. It enters battlefield, tap, tap for blue, black or red. And Evolving Wilds. Tap, sack it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. The Indomitable. Legendary artifact vehicle, 6/6 for 2 and 2 blue with trample. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. You can crew it for 3. You may cast the Indomitable from your graveyard as long as you control 3 or more tapped pirates and or vehicles. We got a Stormfleet Negotiator, creature Siren Pirate, 2/2 for 2 and a blue with flying. It also has Parley. Whenever Stormfleet Negotiator attacks, each player reveals a top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, you create a map token. Then each player draws a card. So a map token is an artifact with pay 1, tap, sack this artifact. Target creature you control explores. Activate only as a sorcery. And we've got Francisco Foul Marauder. Okay, then legendary creature Bird Pirate, 0/1 for 1 and a black with flying. Francisco Foul Marauder can't block. And whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to a player, Francisco explores. It also has partner. And the Grim Captain's Locker, legendary artifact for 3 and a black. You tap, surveil 1, so that means look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Tap, until end of turn, each creature card in your graveyard gains Escape for 3 and a black, and exile 4 other cards from your graveyard. So you may cast a card with Escape from your graveyard for its escape cost. Then we have Skeleton Crew, creature Skeleton Pirate, 3/3 for 3 and a black. Each other creature you control that's a skeleton or pirate gets +1/+1. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black skeleton pirate creature token. And this ability triggers only from the battlefield. For 5 and a black, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And Broadside Bombardiers, creature Goblin Pirate, 2/2 for 2 and a red with menace and haste, has boast. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. You get to deal damage equal to 2 plus the sacrifice permanent's mana value to any target. And we got a Gem Cutter Buccaneer, creature orc pirate artificer, 1/3 for 3 and a red. Whenever it or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, create a tapped treasure token. Treasures you control are equipment in addition to their other types and have equipped creature gets +2/+0. Equip pirate for 1 and equip for 3. And an arm-mounted anchor. What? That's weird. Artifact equipment for 3. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has menace. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a pirate card. Equip for 2. This ability costs 2 less to activate if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. So some fun flavour on that one. Amphin Mutineer, creature Salamander Pirate, 3/3 for 3 and a blue. So when it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-salamander creature. That creature's controller creates a 4/3 blue Salamander Warrior creature token. Has Encore for 4 and 2 blue, so you pay that cost. Exile this card from your graveyard, and for each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. And we got a Bident of Thassa, legendary enchantment artifact for 2 and 2 blue. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card for 1 and a blue. Tap creatures your opponents control. Attack this turn if able. And Corsair Captain, creature human pirate, 2/2 for 2 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Other pirates you control get +1/+1. Evacuation instant for 3 and 2 blue. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. Oh, this is a nice one. Time Stream Navigator. It's a mythic. Creature human pirate wizard, 1/1 for 1 and a blue, has Ascend. So if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. For 2 and 2 blue, tap. Put it on the bottom of its owner's library. Take an extra turn after this one. Activate only if you have the city's blessing. And we have a Warkite Marauder, Creature human pirate 2/1 for 1 and a blue with flying. Whenever it attacks target creature defending player controls, loses all abilities and has base power and toughness 0/1 until end of turn. We've got Black Market Connections. Nice. With some new artwork. Enchantment for 2 and a black. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, choose 1 or more. Create a treasure token. You lose 1 life. Draw a card. You lose 2 life. Or create a 3/2 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. You lose 3 life. And that one has every creature type. Blood Money. Sorcery for 5 and 2 black. Destroy all creatures. For each non-token creature destroyed this way, you create a tapped treasure token. Dire Fleet Ravager. Creature, orc, pirate, wizard. 4/4 for 3 and 2 black. Has menace and death touch. And when it enters battlefield, each player loses a third of their life. Rounded up. That is brutal. Fathom Fleet Captain. Creature, human pirate. 2/1 for 1 and a black with menace. Whenever it attacks, if you control another non-token pirate, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 black pirate creature token with menace. And Lethal Scheme. Instant for 2 and 2 black. Has Convoke. So your creatures can outcast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for 1 or 1 mana of that creature's color. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Each creature that convoked Lethal Scheme connives. So that means draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Next up, we have Angrath's Marauders. Creature, human pirate, 4/4 for 5 and 2 red. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. Blasphemous Act. Sorcery for 8 and a red. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. It deals 13 damage to each creature. And Captain Lannery's Storm. Legendary creature, human pirate, 2/2 for 2 and a red with haste. Whenever Captain Lannery's Storm attacks, create a treasure token. And whenever you sacrifice a treasure, Captain Lannery's Storm gets +1/+0 until end of turn. We've got Captivating Crew. Creature, human pirate, 4/3 for 3 and a red. For 3 and a red, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. And Chaos Warp. Instant for 2 and a red. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. And Coercive Recruiter. Creature, orc, pirate, 4/3 for 4 and a red. Whenever Coercive Recruiter or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature until end of turn. It gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. We've got Dire Fleet Daredevil. Creature, human pirate, 2/1 for 1 and a red with first strike. When it enters the battlefield, exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast it this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell will be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. And Karizev's Skyship Raider. Legendary creature, human pirate, 1/3 for 1 and a red with first strike and menace. Whenever Karizev attacks, create Ragavan, a legendary 2/1 red monkey creature token. Ragavan enters battlefield tapped and attacking. Exile that token at end of combat. And of course, Ragavan back again in the form of Nimble Pilferer. Next up, we've got a Mythic Portraiser. Creature, orc, pirate, 4/4 for 3 and 2 red. Whenever Portraiser deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control after this combat phase as an additional combat phase. Portraiser can't attack a player it has already attacked this turn. And Shared Animosity. Enchantment for 2 and a red. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. Admiral Beckett Brass. Legendary creature, human pirate, another mythic. 3/3 for 1 blue, black and red. Other pirates you control get +1/+1, and at the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who has dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. Okay, so scooping up the rest of the deck. So we'll set the tokens aside. And this one was big at the time of Ixalan. We have Hostage Taker. Creature, human pirate, 2/3 for 2 blue and black. When it enters the battlefield, exile another target creature or artifact until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. We've got King Nafi's Betrayal. So this is an enchantment saga for 1 blue and black. So as this saga enters and after your draw step, add a lore counter, sack it after 3. So on the first turn, each player mills 4 cards, and you may exile a creature or planeswalker card from each graveyard. And on the second and third turns, until the end of turn, you may cast spells from among cards exiled with King Nafi's Betrayal, and you may spend mana, resort, or mana of any colour to cast those spells. We've got Prismari Command Instant for 1 blue and red. Choose 2. It deals 2 damage to any target. Target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. Target player creates a treasure token or destroy target artifact. And Zara Renegade Recruiter, legendary creature, human pirate, 4/3 for 3 blue and red with flying. Whenever it attacks, look at defending player's hand. You may put a creature card from it onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So more creature stealing there. Icon of Ancestry, artifact for 3. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. And for 3, tap. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card of the chosen type from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And Vanquish's Banner, an artifact for 5. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. And whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, draw a card. We've got a Choked Estuary. It's a land. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal an island or swamp card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield, tap. Tap for blue or black. Desolate Lighthouse. Tap for colorless for 1 blue and red. Tap. You get to draw a card, then discard a card. Exotic Orchard. Tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Foreboding Ruins. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a swamp or mountain card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Tap for black or red. Frostboil Snarl. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal an island or mountain card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Tap for blue or red. And Gaia Reach Sanitarium, a legendary land. Tap for colorless for 2 tap. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. Nephalia Drownyard. It's a land. Tap for colorless for 1 blue and black. Tap. Target player mills 3 cards. Smoldering Marsh. Tap for black or red. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. And Sulphur Falls. Enters battlefield tapped unless you control an island or mountain. Tap for blue or red. Sunken Hollow. Tap for blue or black. Enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Path of Ancestry. Enters battlefield tapped. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Port of Carfell. Enters tap. Tap for blue. For 3 blue and 2 black. Tap, sack it, mill 4 cards. Then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Rogue's Passage. A land. Tap for colorless. Or pay 4 tap. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. And Secluded Courtyard. As it enters battlefield, choose a creature type. Tap for colorless. Or tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. Or activate an ability of a creature source of the chosen type. Terramorphic Expanse. Tap, sack it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. And Thriving Bluff. Enters tapped. As it enters the battlefield, choose a color other than red. Tap to add red or 1 mana of the chosen color. Thriving Isle, same thing for blue. Thriving Moor, same thing for black. Unclaimed Territory. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Tap for colorless or tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. Okay, so now we have basic lands. So we've got islands, 6 of those, swamps, 4 of those, mountains, 5 of those. Alright, so now we'll take a look at the tokens here. And this guy was in standard when I first started playing, so that was pretty cool. So we have Ragavan, token legendary creature, monkey, 2/1, So he zips out and pops back again each time. We've got a treasure token on the other side. A 4/3 Salamander Warrior with treasure on the other side. Another Salamander Warrior, treasure, Salamander Warrior. And what is this? We have a Shapeshifter, 3/2 with Changeling. Another Salamander Warrior and a Shapeshifter. We got a map token on the other side. A Skeleton Pirate, 2/2. That is awesome. And a copy token. On the other side, another Skeleton Pirate. Another copy token and Skeleton Pirate. The Monarch. And on the other side, a 2/2 Pirate with Menace. City's Blessing. And on the other side, a 2/2 Pirate with Menace. And Parts of the Turn and Popular Magic formats. So this one has some nice little tricks. You can steal your opponent's creatures. You can bring stuff back from the graveyard and put it into your hand or play those cards. So it looks like a lot of fun. Let me know in the comments what you think about this deck. And stay tuned, we'll be getting stuck into the last of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan Commander deck shortly. Link in the corner in case you've missed any of the videos from this set. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.